podcast. And today we have a very special guest who is going to talk about the localization of listing and how you guys can increase your revenues by translating your listing into the local languages of Europe. So, without any further wait, I just want to call Umar and thank him for joining us today. Thank you very much, Umar, for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me today, and I will be very happy to explain more about what we do and how we do it. I'm sure we can speak a lot about it today.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a very lovely discussion. So, before starting, I just want to talk about how you got introduced into Amazon, Umar.
Okay.
What made you think that this is the next big thing that you want to work on?
Okay. So in 2010, actually, there was no real plan about Amazon, you know. So I was with Emily searching for. Emily's the co-founder of marginbusiness.com. She's the COO of the company. Under her is the marketing and all the employees that we have. So just a little context because I'm speaking about Emily. And so we begin very early translating actually. Myself, I'm German, Moroccan and German. So German with Moroccan origin, let's say this way.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
So yeah, we were actually translating in German from English into German, and Emily from French, from English into French, and for Amazon sellers, for one of the Amazon sellers we knew at this time. And there was a lot going on, you know, because it was 2010. There was really a lot. And suddenly, without even realizing, we were running a business actually a few years down the line, because with what we did actually, we developed ourselves. We were learning along the way. We were trying to understand why this translation are working. So we begin to understand that we have actually to speak the customer's language, not only the language in terms of the country language, the customer language in terms of how you can go get the customer for your specific product, because every product has a customer which you want to target. So we understood this very early in the process, and we build up on this, and we're as well getting on the way clients this way. And then we build as well up, as long as as far as the Amazon marketplace is built up, then France, Spain, Italy, you got now the Netherlands, you got Poland, you got Sweden, and you got Belgium. So along the way we build up the team, and today we're looking at a team 20 strong, growing. And yeah, this is margin business today. So very, very fast, just where we're coming from and what we were doing, you know.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you just told me that you guys got into Amazon space like in 2010, and
Yes.
nobody was really talking about Amazon at that time, I guess. And you
Oh
guys were
yes.
one of the early movers there, because I think that after the COVID and even before the early COVID, I think there was a boom here and globally. But you guys got in like way early 2010. I guess at least in Pakistan, nobody was talking about Amazon.
Yes, that's possible. You know, I mean, people were talking about Amazon. They were talking more about e-commerce. You know,
Yeah.
e-commerce, how they can make money online. You know, that was the whole thing behind it. You know, and there were all these translation agencies. There were all these SaaS companies. But Amazon, you might be right in that at that time it was not very popular, and it was the so-called Wild West. So
Yeah.
when we were still working in corporate, that we wanted a way to go out of there. You know, because we knew that there needs to be a way to actually start your own business and do it. But actually, the tricky thing about it, and everyone knows that, is in order to do the jump, you will need to have the same salary, because you have a life. You might have children. You might have a wife. You might have something to that you have payments to do. So you need to have exactly the same salary coming out of your business. You know, and suddenly you do that, you can jump. And
Yeah,
once you
that's what
jump,
I recommend. Like everybody, like if you want to start a business, just make sure that you are making enough to pay your rent, pay your utilities. And
exactly,
I think that's the right time when you just decide that you want to quit the job right now and just work on your business. And you guys
exactly,
like built a really good business, quite with a quite a fast pace, I would say.
exactly. Fast pace is a yeah. We actually we managed to, yeah, we at this time we managed to do it very fast, the switch, because it took us about a year. You know, a year of sleepless nights. You know, like 24 hours work on the job and work in the business as well.
That's
And
what
when
it takes.
when this, yeah, you know, it's like everyone will pass there. Everyone will do it. You know. So if you really want it, you can do it. And afterwards, we've seen the opportunity in Amazon, and this is where we really jumped in and focused only on Amazon, on this niche product, what we still got today after 10 years. And we have seen many companies come and go. We have seen many Amazon sellers come and go, and the ones who are still there are very big right now.
Yeah. So my next question from you would be like, why translation? Why localization? Why don't you, because everybody was at least was talking about PPC a year back, and PPC and overall sales things. So why did you guys choose that you want to focus on this niche and just work on the translation and the localization of listing? What sort of big opportunity did you guys see there back then?
Okay, because you mentioned PPC, for example, yes, it was true. A few years ago, you could just, bang in PPC, and then, you get your sales going very well, But right now, we are in such in such very high level times that the smallest thing in the listing, first of all, maybe we begin with this, will be seen from the Amazon artificial intelligence as a threat. And they don't want any listings which don't have a clear, because they can read as well the listings. The AIs, obviously, they don't read it like us, but they can read, and they see if the text is useless, if the images are useless, or if they're images at all, or if if there is like specifications in the listings, or if the A+ content is good, or if the description is good. So, and then we only go to our what we do, the localization part and the optimization. So let's start with the localization. You have to talk with your customer. So you need to make sure that you talk to the customer, because if you don't talk to your customer, you won't sell, or you will sell less, or you will sell nothing. So in order to talk to your customer, you have first to understand, can I sell my product in that specific market? Do research. There are reviews. There is tools which today, we have so many tools. We can just swim in data. We can understand very well. Don't assume that because you like your product, you can sell your product, or don't assume that your product is selling in the US, you can sell your product in the US, in the European Union. It's not the same.
That's a big mistake a lot of people make. That's a really huge mistake, that if the guy would say that I believe in this product and I just want to launch it and I want to go full on with the advertising, but that's not how it works. So exactly, 100% agrees with you.
Oh, definitely. And then from there we look at the optimization process. So I jumped very fast because the localization, sorry, I think I didn't finish with it. So you need to break it down and not even localize the list, localize it as well, content and correct copywriting in there. So the title needs to be nice. It should not look like a fully plugged title where only keywords are in. Everything should be nice, readable, and understandable. And obviously, whatever product you're selling, you need to understand your customer. You need to do research for your customer. Who's my customer? Is he 18 years old? Is he 60 years old? Is it man? Is it woman? Where they live usually? Are they living alone? Are they living with a family? What is their educational background? So many people don't think about that, but you really, right now, I can tell you, you need to go that deep. You need to understand your customer in order to sell it to your customer, or you learn it the hard way by burning PPC, and then you can funnel as well down, but you will never be able to funnel down as I just described and really understand what is going on. And then only we can go to the optimization part, which is about the same. You need to understand the language, not only the language of your customer, you need to understand the country language of your customer.
100%.
So some keywords make no sense. They have been pushed high from any non-native speaker. That's the main mistake what non-native speaker do. They bet on keywords which they see flagging red. Oh yes, red. Okay, let's bet on it, But they have no clue what they're saying. So maybe a German customer or French customer don't even search for these type of keywords. So what we do is, for example, I'll just give you an example. There is a lot of different stages that we do, but I give you an example which I can say. There is, for example, the green keywords. Maybe they give you only 100 sales per month. But nobody hanging on there. None of your competitors will be on there. We take this one and we put it nicely in one of our descriptions. We target them per PPC, and here you go, have 100 sales per month without any efforts, without losing any money. So this is the initial stages.
That's why you need somebody who's native in the language to translate it. Otherwise, I see a
Exactly.
lot of people that they just want to list on like every marketplace that's available, because it's so easy with FBA being in every marketplace. So they just want to list everywhere, but they don't want to spend that sort of money on copywriting, because in US like we spend like thousands of dollars on just building a pre-launch process, copywriting like images and writing the copy for EBC. But that's not what I see usually. What people do, especially the small scale brands, they don't really put in much effort while expanding to other marketplaces. They just think that we have enough reviews and we just gonna list there and we're
Oh
gonna get
yes.
sales. But that's not how it works most of the time, and that's why I see people with thousands of reviews and not making much sales compared to a guy who just have like 50 reviews. That's the reason why you're not making sales with 1,000 reviews, because you are not really targeting the customer emotionally, or the like the things Umar told.
No, definitely, I agree completely on that. And like I said, we have all the data. We don't have to do any. I mean, okay, we have to do special things. We have to be really focused on everything. But everything is on our footsteps. You know, for example, if you see the product don't sell, then don't sell it. Why would you sell it? I mean, you can still sell it, but if you sell a product, you need to put efforts on it. So if the predictions are not good for the product, why would you invest money and do listing optimization, do the VAT registration, do the whole things what you need to do? Maybe even rent a warehouse because the product don't move fast enough, you know. So these are all of these things need to put into consideration if you jump into a new market such as the European Union. I don't say now that it's a super hard task, but you need to follow some guidelines in order to do it. And if you don't have the budget to spend, don't go there. That's very simple, you know. Just don't go there.
Yeah. So, my next question would be a little bit about the expansion. So, for example, a seller is selling like $1 million per annum in UK. So, and he wants to expand to other markets, and the data of those markets look good, and the stats are good. People are making sales. There's not a lot of competition. So, what sort of budget he should expect to spend on if he wants to expand into all marketplaces at once? And my follow-up question would be that, would you guys recommend to expand into all of the European markets, the smaller niche markets at once, or do you guys suggest that we should take it one by one?
I would say if you really, we talk about $1 million budget only for the expansion from the UK into all marketplaces. With a budget like that, I would definitely say go for all
Sorry,
marketplaces.
I just want to
Yeah.
clear. I am talking about a seller who is making $1 million in revenue
Okay,
in
understand.
UK and
Understand.
he wants to expand.
Okay.
So it's not that much of a budget. So
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
probably
Okay,
would
I
have,
understand.
if he wants to expand, he would have probably $50,000-$60,000, not more than this.
Okay. So let's talk about 50, 60,000. In this case, 8 marketplaces are a lot. So I would take it slowly. First of all, what we do or what we suggest, we take the product, we look at it. I mean, now you said already the product should be fine. So when we're in the marketplaces, for example, we check them. So we do a dry run of 5 best sellers. So we ask the customer for the best sellers of his product, put them on, optimize them, localize them, make them perfectly look fine, and then we check the reaction of the market. If the reaction is good and the customer, for example, has 500 products, we would go slowly, like every month, maybe 50, maybe 100 products, in order to not, first of all, to not burn the budget, and second of all, to give it a little bit of time every time we put all the products on. So if the customer is happy with everything, or if we're beginning to sell a lot, then we can go to all marketplaces. Now, with a budget of 50, 60,000, there is a possibility to all the marketplaces, but maybe in that case, he should go only for the 4, because the Netherlands, Sweden, Poland, and Belgium are new marketplaces, and the ROI will be a lot later than in the other marketplaces. This is our suggestion, but
Yeah.
we always recommend to do it, because I can tell you the big companies are doing it, and they will be making the money from now in a few months already. So don't wait. The best is always to go all in.
Okay. And what do you guys suggest about the images? Do you guys translate the images as well, or you guys just prefer it in English? Or do you guys recommend that we should translate the images and EBC as well?
It's very important that you translate the images and to localize them as well. So if and maybe even, you know, if there is if the country is different or the culture is different from the product that you're selling, change the pictures as well, you know, change what you need to change. But very important is definitely to change every language on the pictures. You know, before what we did is like we did the 4 most common languages in the EU, and we put this under the in the picture. But now you don't have to do it anymore. You can upload just directly into specific countries through the tool that they provided now for every single marketplace. So this is definitely something you should take advantage of. You should, and this is as well, the HEO needs to be studied very well. And I have as well, I have always a super good example for that. There is one big company, because I'm into protein, you know, I like protein a lot. And there is a big company called GNC, you must know it as well, which is very big in Asia. They are amazing in Asia. They have amazing shops in Asia. And there's as well the company On Nutrition. On Nutrition is very big in the US as well. In Europe, very big as well. So I'm checking all of these images all the time. And when I see GNC, they don't even have pictures, and they still have a Google translated text which is not optimized. That is terrible. I mean,
I just imagine the potential that they can take this brand forward, and they're just not putting in the right effort, I say.
Exactly. And On Nutrition, you know yourself, you know, if you see a picture from On Nutrition, you want to drink already the whole cup, you know. So there is and while you see GNC, it's like, yeah, oh no, I have to get my daily medicine, you know. So these differences I'm talking about, because they don't target. I mean, not only don't target, they lack, they misunderstood completely the e-commerce world on the European market, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And moving on, I think we established that how important it is that you need to localize your listing, you need to change the images, you need to update the text for better SEO and better persuade your customer, because in the end, it's all a matter of conversion. And if you want to have a better conversion rate, you need to localize your listing. So moving on, what trends do you guys see in terms of PPC? And before that, do you guys like manage PPC for European markets or not?
Yes, we manage PPC for European markets, but not for big sellers. So what we do, because it comes hand in hand for us. Do you want to ask something more, or?
No, I'm just going to do a follow-up question. You can continue.
Okay, no problem. Because look, when you optimize listings, when you localize listings, the text or the keywords that you put in there, it would be very good if they're as well in the PPC campaign, or some resemblances in there. So we need to make sure that, you know, that everything correlates with each other. Because if we have a brilliant listing in there, and then we give the PPC away, for example, and the person is not a native speaker and begins to put some keywords in there which makes no sense, then our whole listing makes no sense as well. So we kind of make sure that we as well take this. But if the customer is too big, and we talk about thousands of listings, we cannot take this, because we don't have the team for PPC. But we have partners we're currently working with, and we always refer to them, and they have the team and they can handle it. They have a software. They are very set up to do this. Shout outs to Eva Guru for that as well.
Yeah, they're amazing people. I'm working with Eva as well. So Hi is amazing. Yeah. So and what sort of trend do you see in smaller European markets like France or Italy? What sort of trends do you see if you compare it to a North American market, maybe US or even UK? So do you see any difference in terms of competition? I'm sure it's the competition is low over there, but what kind of trends are you guys currently seeing? Is it like worth it for sellers to do that much of work and launch into those markets, going aggressive on PPC? And should they expect similar ROI as compared to US or UK, or the markets are still a bit slow?
The market is completely different. Let's say it this way. In the US, we have these giants walking. You know, when we you know, they make a lot of noise, and when you're on PPC in the US, you will need to have big pockets. So you need to have a lot of money in order to because if you go small, most of the time it won't work. So in the US, it's really like you need to compete with the giants, and if you don't have the budget, don't do it. It's just don't do it, because then you will lose all your money and you cannot even do anything. You cannot compete because they're too big. So, and this is the positive thing in Europe, because when you get here, the whole numbers are different, because every country has obviously his own PPC system. We can and the bets are a lot less. So in order to place the campaigns, and it's a
Yeah.
lot less. It's like
I'm sure if somebody is moving from a US Seller Central campaign manager towards a France campaign manager, he will be shocked. Definitely. I have not
oh
personally
yes,
been working
definitely.
in the European markets, but I've heard a lot about the lower CPCs and low hanging fruits. Like the kind of CPCs that we call in US are low hanging fruits. These are the kind of CPCs that you
These
get on
are
the like main keywords.
exactly.
Yeah, and that needs to be. Do you think it's that need to be dealt with the native speaker as well, so he would understand the keywords better, or do you think if somebody has got the keyword research from someone like you who guys are translating listings into native languages, and he should be able to manage the PPC for that, or do you guys recommend if the PPC manager should be a native as well? Because I think we recently talked about this before the podcast that there's a need of for native speaker, and a lot of the sellers just go towards maybe a translating software or hire somebody that's non-native and get the listing translated from him. So do you think it's the same here that the PPC manager should be native, or do you think that we can make it work with the somebody like you who has translated the keywords for him and given them a keyword research based on intent?
Okay, okay. For first of all, never translate keywords. That's the first thing. It don't work. We had many times these requests, and we always need to tell the whole story and tell them, listen, it won't work. Now, what from my understanding is you don't necessarily need like a native speaker for that, but you need somebody who understands the language, so that we don't get some weird sounding long tail keywords which you give to the which you put and target them, because it won't work. It simply don't work. So you need somebody who understands the language, and you need somebody with a very good PPC knowledge as well, in
Yeah.
order to pick these right keywords. Because unfortunately, foreign sellers such as mostly the Chinese, they have bet on very large keywords, which makes no sense. So you have in categories sometimes a really like it's a rainbow of different keywords for a product, which makes absolutely no sense. So that's why you need to understand what you
Yeah,
actually
I
taking into your
personally agree
campaign.
with you. We tried working on a German listing maybe a year back, and to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it. Although we were getting like okay-ish result, but I didn't really enjoy it because I didn't understand the keywords. I was not enjoying the PPC. I didn't know what intent was there on the keywords, so I could not categorize it according to. And I tried using Google Translate, and it didn't make any sense. So I did not enjoy it, and I think if there was somebody who understood the native language, or at least if even if he was not native, he understood the language, he would have done much better than I, and he would know that where to spend and where not to spend, which intent to focus initially. Because my focus when I am structuring a launch, my focus is entirely based on intent. And if I'm not getting the understanding the intent on of a German keyword, how would I structure my launch? So I definitely agree with you that we need to have a little bit of an understanding of the language if we want to spend money on advertising there. And that's why I think that's why we haven't really expanded to European markets as of now. I don't really
Okay.
work there. So I think that's a good lesson there, that if you even if you're looking for a PPC manager, maybe hire somebody who understands the language at least.
Definitely, I completely agree. Because at the end of the day, it's you have a budget, and you need to not you don't need to spend it, but you need to spend it right. So, and these
Yeah.
are the things you need to do right now. We don't talk about 2010 anymore. We talk about very sophisticated tools. We talk about very customers, which gets bombarded from everywhere, and you want to get these customers, and it's not on anymore on the normal way that you get them. You need to be very creative and very knowledgeable in the space in
Yeah,
order to
the
do
space
it.
has changed a lot in the at least in the past 6 months. Even in the past 6 months, or even in the past 3 months, the Amazon space has changed a lot. The CPCs are crazy now, and you need efficient systems to build a good business. So we're moving towards the end. I just want to wrap this up, and before I take the last comment from Omar, I just want to let you guys know that if you want to get some consultation on your localization of your listing, you guys should definitely contact Omar, and you guys can get free audits for your listing. So make sure you check out his website. I'm gonna put a link on the description here as well. So make sure you check that out, and you guys should reach out to them before you expand to other markets. Before spending any dollar on PPC, make sure your listings are optimized for the specific market. So we're moving towards the end, Umar. Do you want to just conclude everything and say some last things?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, if you really want to go from the US into the European Union or to any other market, put into account or really think about it that you enter another country. So as you fly with a plane, you go somewhere, you have no clue how they speak, you want to order something somewhere, think about that. It's the same way you address a customer. So make sure that you target your customer in their language, and not only in their language, target them directly in their environment, in their emotions, in their complete how can I say it? When you have this customer in front of you, it's like you have the
You need to
customer in
portray
front
them
of you, actually.
emotionally. Yeah. You
Exactly,
need to
exactly. You need
portray them.
to, and this somebody needs to do this in the listing, and only a native speaker with copywriting and content writing skills will be able to do that for you.
I couldn't agree more. So thank you very much, Umar, for coming and sharing your insights. And thank you very much, guys,
Thank you
for
for
watching
inviting
it.
me.
Yeah. And I think that's about it. Thank you very much, Umar. Take care. Bye bye.
Great. Bye bye.
Okay.